What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Dylan the Villain, and we're coming back at you once again with some more Total Extreme Wrestling 2020. It is Sunday, week 4 of September. It is the last day of September. We are at the Unforgiven pay-per-view here in San Diego, California. But before we get to Unforgiven, we got to knock out Sunday Night Heat. Excuse me. We got to knock out Sunday Night Heat. And to get to the Unforgiven pay-per-view. In this segment, we see Vince McMahon and Shane McMahon, and they're talking to security. And they're telling security that keep an eye out for Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. We do not want Kevin Nash and Scott Hall in the building, in the area, in the premises. You know, they are not signed WWF talent. That they are forbidden. You know, like they're just like, do not let these guys in the arena. If these guys even buy a ticket, do not let them in the arena. We cannot have them causing havoc and mayhem on our pay-per-view. The security's like, yes sir, Mr. McMahon, and you know, they get the word out and everything like that. And they're looking for Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, making sure that they do not interfere whatsoever in tonight's main event or any other match here tonight on the Unforgiven pay-per-view. This segment got a 100. We are going to move on to the next segment. In a bout that had terrible wrestling, non-existent crowd heat, Fit Finlay defeats Al Snow in a hardcore match and 13:27 by pinfall after an Emerald Fusion. The match got a 56. Fit Finlay with almost a 60. Not bad, Finlay. And Al Snow with a 46. Color commentary gave the match a boost. We move on to our next match up. And it is... Yes. We see Edge and Christian, and they're getting interviewed backstage by Michael Cole. I'm sorry, it's the Dudleys who are getting interviewed by Michael Cole. And Michael Cole's just like, last Sunday, y'all picked up a big win against a team known as AssDust. And y'all pretty much submitted yourselves as the new number 1 contenders for the World Wrestling Federation World Tag Team titles. You know, like, y'all are new here in the World Wrestling Federation, and what a statement, what a debut that y'all made. And Bubba cuts him off and is like, shut up, Cole. He's like, we do not care about any other tag teams in this division. Me and my brother Devon came here for one reason and one reason only. And that's to win championship gold. Because we already proved that we're not only the best tag team in the World Wrestling Federation, but we're the best tag team in the world today. And there's no other tag team in this company, WCW, New Japan, All Japan Pro Wrestling, the dead ECW. It doesn't matter. We are the best tag team in the world, and us not being the tag team champions is just a slap in our face and a slap in the face to our fans. And at this time, Edge and Christian walk up, and the Dudleys kind of stand there, and Edge and Christian's like, you hear that? Christian? Christian's like, yeah, I hear somebody making claims that are simply not true. And Edge is like, I thought that's what I heard. Well, what is this about you being the best tag team in the world? And Bubba starts laughing and goes, well, I haven't seen y'all pick up a victory against the tag team champions. And Edge like, right. He's like, you see, Bubba, before I hurt my shoulder, we were on the road to be the top tag team in the World Wrestling Federation. And I got sidelined with my shoulder injury. Christian proved why not only is he a great tag team talent, but he's also a future main eventer here in the World Wrestling Federation. Good job, buddy. And Christian's like, thank you, I appreciate that. And he's like, so, just because you beat AssDust and you're the number 1 contenders, Just because you beat AssDust doesn't make you the number one contenders. So I tell you what, why not tonight we have ourselves a tag team match to determine who the number one contenders are for that tag team titles, and go on later tonight at the pay-per-view and take on the team of AssDust. And Bubba's just like, if it will shut your cocky, arrogant asses up, then yeah, we're more than happy to take y'all on here tonight. This segment got a 62. So we have a big match here tonight. I'm pretty sure it's the main event. We have a big match here tonight as the Dudleys take on the team of Edge and Christian. This match got a 62. We move on to our next segment. And it is Bob Holly taking on one Steve Blackman. Both men with a 60. And Steve Blackman defeats Bob Holly in a hardcore match. See, I thought I booked 2 hardcore matches. I wasn't quite sure. One of them was supposed to be hardcore and one of them wasn't. The Steve Blackman one was not supposed to be a hardcore match. My apologies on that one, on the booking. But in a poor match, Steve Blackman defeats Bob Holly in a hardcore match in 12:34 by pinfall. Match got a 62, not bad. Both men won a 60. We're going to move on to the next segment. Steve Blackman picking up a big win here tonight, gaining more momentum. Nice. Nice. I thought this was actually going to do a lot better, but okay. We see a man. He has his beard, and he's running his hands through his beard, and his back's to the camera, and he turns around, and it's Dutch Mantell. And Dutch Mantell goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, you may not know my name, but you sure soon will. You see, my name is Dutch Mantell, and for months now, I have watched this product of the World Wrestling Federation, and they claim that they have the best wrestlers in the world. They claim they have the baddest men in the world. They claim they have the toughest athletes in the world. And as I'm sitting there, I realize that statement is just not true whatsoever. You see, there was a man who was in another country, destroying people, beating people down until they couldn't rise up again. This man is a multi-time world champion in Japan, heavyweight champion in Japan. This man's a good friend of mine, and this man is who I consider to be the best wrestler in the world, to be the toughest man in the planet, and to be everything that the WWF claims that they have. They simply don't, because they do not have this man right here. And in the future, this man is soon going to make his debut for the World Wrestling Federation, and this man is going to bring death to you all. So without further ado, I would like to introduce my good friend, Dr. Death, Steve Williams. And then the camera turns, and it's, as y'all already see, it's Steve Williams, and he's standing there and he's cracking his knuckles, and he's smiling real big. And then the camera zooms in on his face and goes, "The era of death is soon to begin in the World Wrestling Federation." Segment got a 50. I was hoping the segment would do a lot more. Dutch Mantell debuted his old school heel gimmick. It got very good. And Steve Williams debuted his badass gimmick, and it got very good too. Not bad. Dutch Mantell improvised well. Color and commentary gave Dutch a boost. And Dutch Mantell with that hot new catchphrase of whatever I just said about death. Dr. Death's Steve Williams merchandise right there. The era of death is upon you, or something dealing with Dr. Death. But the segment got a 50. I was hoping it would do a lot better than this, but hey, I take what I can get on Sunday Night Heat. We're going to move on to the next segment. All right. This match got a 67, and about that had good wrestling, great wrestling, and good heat. Ken Shamrock drew with Scott Steiner, followed by a double disqualification when Sid and Vader come in and attack both Ken Shamrock and Scott Steiner. It has been a long time since we saw Sid and Vader. We actually thought they were gone. You know, that they were done in the World Wrestling Federation. They beat up Ken Shamrock and Steiner. They throw them two out of the ring. And Doc Hendricks comes in the ring. He leaves the announcer's table and he comes in the ring with a mic in his hand, and he goes, Sid, Vader, what are y'all doing here? The last we heard is that y'all were in contract negotiations. He's like, that's right, we were. And he goes, and the more that I sat at home, and the more I thought about it, the more I realized that I have unfinished business here in the World Wrestling Federation, along with my good friend Vader. You see, we were hired for protection for one Vince McMahon. And our jobs got taken by the Big Show. He's like, Show, I know you're back there sitting your fat ass in a folding chair eating some nachos and some hot dogs. You fat fuck. And I know that you're back there. And Show, I just want you to know that me and Vader are coming for you. We're coming for you hard, boy. I think about lay in bed every night thinking about coming for you. And how much I'm going to come when I get my hands all over you. You can run, you can hide, you can do whatever you want to. But if you're a real man, you'll bring your fat ass out here and face me like a real man, because you took our jobs away from us. You see, just like everybody else that Vince McMahon manipulates, once he uses you and takes advantage of you, he tosses you aside like an old toy and finds a new one. And Show, he did the same thing to you, and he's going to do the same thing to whoever else aligns himself with Vince McMahon, because Vince McMahon only cares about his damn self. So we're coming for Vince, and we're coming for you, Big Show. We haven't forgot about you. And all of a sudden, like, his mic gets cut off, and Sid and Vader kind of look at it, and security kind of comes down, and, you know, the security's trying to, like, hey, y'all need to get out of here, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all need to leave. And Sid and Vader, you know, they're signed WWF they're signed to the WWF. They have contracts, and they get out of the ring as you know, like, security's just like, hey, you know, like, y'all are taking too much TV time. We gotta get on with the show. And we go to commercial, and we come back, and it is our main event of the night. In a decent match, the Dudley Boys defeat Edge and Christian when Bubba Ray Dudley pinned Christian. The match got a 73. Not bad at all. Devon with a 66, Bubba with a 71, Edge with a 71, and Christian with a 74. Not bad at all. Bubba and Devon have the excellent chemistry, along with Edge and Christian, and Bubba and Devon have the tag team specialist bonus. The match got a 73. Not bad. Bubba and Devon pick up the win here tonight. We move on to our thing, and as the match comes to an end, Bubba tells Devon to go get the table, and they're going to slam Edge and Christian. They attack Edge and Christian after the match, and they're going to powerbomb Edge and Christian through a table, and out comes AssDust along with Chyna, who has her, she's in a neck brace. She's hurting bad still from the attack last week. She's in a neck brace, but AssDust runs out to the ring, makes the save for Edge and Christian. As at the Unforgiven pay-per-view, it will be the team of AssDust taking on the Dudley Boys for the WWF World Tag Team Championships. This segment got a 95, not bad. and we are going to end the show like we usually do before a pay-per-view and hype it up and hype up the big matches that we have moving into the pay-per-view. We have one in our main event. It will be Shawn Michaels versus Triple H in a steel cage match to make sure that nobody interferes. They already took care of Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, making sure that security knows the security is on the up and up, making sure that Hall and Nash do not interfere in the match, do not have anything to do in the matchup whatsoever. So we can give Shawn Michaels his match that his title match that he actually deserves, but it will be in a steel cage match. These two men have history together. These two men have personal beef with each other. You can go back and watch the last couple of pay-per-views. You know that how the history between these two men. You know the storyline. You know the build-up between these two men. And these two men are most likely going to have match of the year and tear the house down. But this match is definitely going to be a banger, as these two men cannot wait to get their hands on each other. And in our another match of the night, we will see Owen Hart taking on Bret the Hitman Hart. These two men, even though they're brothers, they're very prideful. You know, they come from a very prideful they come from a very prestigious family. They come from a very prideful. They're very prideful, and neither one of these Harts want to back down. Owen believes that he's the better Hart. He beat Kurt Angle. Bret Hart beat Kurt Angle. Both these men. Owen said he didn't have to cheat to beat Kurt Angle. He beat Kurt Angle fair and square. But Bret, he's been boastous, and you know, he's like, well, you never been world champion. I'm the better Hart. Owen says he's the king of hearts. Bret standing by. He's the best there was, best there is, and best there ever will be. And Owen's heard enough of it. Owen's heard enough of it. They are going to have a matchup at the Unforgiven pay-per-view. These two brothers can't wait to get their hands on each other. And they can't wait to get their hands on each other and prove who is the better Hart. Is it Owen or is it Bret? We will find out at the Unforgiven pay-per-view. Is this the end of the Hart Foundation as they are slowly crumbling, slowly crumbling apart, as these two brothers they just can't seem to get on the same page? And in another match up on the pay-per-view, we will see Stone Cold Steve Austin go against Kane and The Undertaker in a handicap match. And anything goes, falls count anywhere, must be a winner. Handicap match. Vince McMahon promised The Undertaker that if he can get rid of Stone Cold Steve Austin once and for all, that The Undertaker will be the new #1 contender for the World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Championship. But Undertaker could not get the job done as Steve Austin keeps coming back after the beatdowns. Steve Austin picked up a win against Kane. Steve Austin picked up a win against The Undertaker. And Vince gave... This is Undertaker's final shot to become #1 contender. But Vince, Vince being the evil son of a bitch that he is, to steal a line from Jim Ross, he made it a handicap match. So he knows that Steve Austin has, no pun intended, no chance in hell of winning this match. But he also said that whoever pins Steve Austin will be the new #1 contender. Putting a wedge between Kane and The Undertaker, as Kane definitely wants to be the #1 contender along with The Undertaker. Will these brothers work together for a common goal, or will they end up butting heads in this matchup as both men want to become the #1 contender. Also on the Unforgiven pay-per-view, we will see The Rock taking on Chris Jericho for the Intercontinental Championship. As we know, The Rock really hasn't been paying a lot of attention to Stephanie McMahon lately. And Jericho has been bragging how he took Stephanie out on a date and showed her a good time. And The Rock is quite jealous and quite furious with that. And he wants revenge from Jericho. And he said that if Jericho can take his woman, then he's going to take what Jericho loves more than anything, and that's that Intercontinental Championship. We will find out who wins that matchup here tonight. We will also see Rob Van Dam taking on one Chris Candido in a grudge match. We will also, with the loser leaving the WWF, the loser will have to then leave the WWF. A loser leaves town matchup. We will also see Raven taking on his long-term rival, Tommy Dreamer, for the, almost said ECW. I got my ECW mode here. For the WWF Hardcore Championship. What other matches? We also will have the Tag Team Championship match between Edge and Christian and AssDust here tonight. This pay-per-view is going to probably be one of our best pay-per-views. We've been putting on some high-quality pay-per-views the last couple of pay-per-views that I'm really proud of, guys. I'm excited. We're going to go ahead and finish the show, see what we got. We got an 85. Not bad. Not bad at all. We are going to go ahead and finish the show, and we are going to get on to the Unforgiven pay-per-view. Let's go ahead and select our broadcasters here. Yes, sir. As you see, we are here. We are at Unforgiven. Guys, my name is Dylan the Villain, and thank y'all for watching like always. Thank y'all for liking the video. Thank y'all for leaving a comment down below. I get back to you as quickly as I can. I love commenting. I love when y'all comment. I love talking to you guys. I enjoy it motivates me highly having people comment, and it lets me know that I'm doing a good job, and it motivates me to keep pumping these videos out and keep moving forward with this save and everything. I highly appreciate it. I also want to give a shout out to a fan named Richard. Man, thank you for commenting down below. You know, I highly appreciate it, brother. If I can remember y'all's names, I will give y'all a shout out in the video and thank y'all over a video personally for watching and liking the videos and commenting and just being a fan and everything like that. But I want to give a special shout out to Richard and highly recommend y'all check out his channel. He is doing a ROH save that is one of a kind and very unique. I'm enjoying it. You know, I'm enjoying watching it and enjoying what he has to offer and stuff like that. So I'm sure he will comment down below, thanking me for the shout out and everything like that. And I'll let him leave a link to his channel in the comments down below. And everything like that, guys. I know I rambled on a little bit. This is a longer Sunday Night Heat than usual, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, guys. If you're new to the channel, like what you see, the subscribe icon will be right about here. If you like this episode and want to go back and watch previous episodes before the pay-per-view and understand all the stories going into the pay-per-view, that playlist will be right here. And if you are looking for something a little bit more extreme, the ECW developmental playlist will be right here. It is ECW in the year 2001, if they got bought out by the WWF, and WWF turned them into a developmental territory with Paul Heyman as the booker. That playlist will be right here. That will be the last pay-per-view on the save of that save, the last show that I booked on the channel, which I believe it is Hardcore Heaven. My name is Dylan the Villain, guys, and like we always say here at Pro Am Gaming, if you can't play with each other, do what I'm doing right now and play with yourself. Thank y'all for watching, guys, and we will see you all at Unforgiven.